Hi guys, welcome and welcome back to my channel. It's your girl Kensthetic with the Kensthetics, and I'm here with you guys today with a new video. So first things first, let's address the hair. I have in knotless box braids again. Y'all know I love some knotless box braids. If y'all don't know by now, then y'all should know. Kensthetic loves knotless box braids. They're just so lightweight and they just look so good, and my hair be growing so much while I have them in. So to me, it's giving braids for the rest of the year, but we'll see. So let's move on to the video. So today's video is going to be a video about credit cards. So I want to speak about my credit card. I want to speak about things that you should look for and things that you should be comparing when it's time for you to get a credit card. So that's what we'll be speaking about in today's video. Before we get started, make sure you guys subscribe to my channel. Go ahead and click that red subscribe button down below and join the family. We're on the road to 6K. We're exactly 100 subscribers away from 6,000. So do me a favor, do us a favor. Click that subscribe button and join the family. If you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys like content like this, then go ahead and give this video a big thumbs up so that I know, and drop a comment down below with your thoughts, with your comments, with your opinions, or anything that may be on your minds. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So as you guys may or may not know, I share business content on my channel. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. I have no excuses. I have been slacking in that area, but it's okay because the first step is acknowledgement and the second step is taking action. So here I am taking action. I will be sharing more business content on my YouTube as well as my Instagram platform. I launched today, July 7th, I launched my Ken Capital series on IGTV, where I'll be speaking about different topics related to capital. So spending, savings, assets, liabilities, everything that we should know as young adults, and especially as Black young adults. So I do want to share information because there's so many like elephants in the room when it comes to money, when it comes to investments, when it comes to so many different things. And in case you guys don't know, I am a financial consultant, but I was / also am whatever, an accountant. So I do have a lot of information from my experience. So what I hope to do in this series on my Instagram TV and sharing business videos on YouTube is to use the knowledge that I have from my professional career and share it with you guys so that you can have that information to make the best financial decisions possible. So today's video, we're speaking all about credit cards. I don't know why I chose this as my first topic, honestly, but I chose it. So we'll be speaking about credit cards today, and that was also my first IGTV. So on IGTV, I spoke about why your credit score is important and my experience with my first credit card, which is a Discover Cashback credit card. And in my YouTube video, I want to speak about different things that you should look for and compare when it's time for you to get a credit card. So first things first, I want to speak about my experience. I'm gonna brush on it because I spoke about it more in my Instagram TV video. If you guys didn't see that video, I'll have it linked down below. But my first credit card I got when I was a junior in college, and I feel like I was nervous to get my first credit card because I was surrounded by people who either A, had bad credit, or B, had bad experiences when it came to credit cards, whether it be not being able to pay their bill, whether it be not knowing, the behind the scenes and the logistics of having a credit card and what the actual responsibility of having a credit card entails. So all of those things scared me. And then I had a conversation with someone and they were like, you need to start building your credit. And the easiest way is to get a credit card, buy something or buy things on your credit card and just pay it off right away. And I was doing that, and my credit was going up because I have my my student loans on my credit. And if you went to college and if you have student loans, then you know the vibe. But I was like, I'm trying to build my credit. I want to have a future. I want to buy houses. I want to buy cars, all of these things. And in order to do any of that, in order to get any of that, you have to have good credit. So my first credit card that I got junior year in college, and it was this card, which is a Discover Cashback credit card. I think this is actually like my first card too, but this is and was my first credit card. So the reason why I chose to get the Discover Cashback credit card is because they have so many perks and so many incentives, which I did speak about in my IGTV video. So in case y'all didn't get the rhythm of me mentioning it, make sure y'all watch that video so you can have all of the information. But it has so many perks, so many benefits, and it was like college student friendly, if that makes sense. So when I was in college, they gave me cash back based on my GPA and so many other things. And then as I transitioned into an adult, I realized that there were even more perks that fit my post-grad lifestyle. So this credit card is honestly bae. I would say look into it if you are looking for like your first credit card. Look into the Discover Cashback credit card because I think that is great. And I did compare to other options on the market. So I looked into Capital One, I looked into Trace credit cards, and for all of those, I'm just like, it's not fitting my lifestyle right now. So I went ahead and got the Discover one. So some things to look into when comparing credit card options and things that you should ask and do research on before you apply for a credit card. So the first thing is understanding the purpose of you getting your credit card. This is something that you have to ask yourself. This is something that you have to sit there and discuss with yourself, like, sis, what you need a credit card for? Why you want to get a credit card? So some options that you should take into consideration when considering the purpose is, are you trying to build your credit? Are you trying to collect points and perks, such as like travel credit cards? Because when you do use a travel credit card, you get a lot of travel perks. So if you are into travel, if you are into traveling for work or whatever the case is, it may make more sense to have a travel credit card to get those perks. So I know some people who do that, and that's something I'm actually looking into. Is it going to be an emergency credit card? Is it going to be used to pay down debt that you have? You want to understand what the purpose of you getting a credit card is, because then that will go into you doing research and finding out, okay, what's the interest rate that I should be looking for? What are the perks that cards have that I should be looking for? So that is the first thing you want to understand, the purpose of you getting your credit card. The second thing is the interest rate. You want to compare interest rates because obviously you want to have the best interest rate or the most feasible interest rate. So you want to look into interest rates of cards that you are comparing. The next thing is perks and incentives. So this is something that you want to look into because, yeah, when I tell y'all there's so many ways to spend money but earn money at the same time, y'all will be surprised. I low-key want to do a video on that, but you want to look into perks and incentives to understand, will you have cashback benefits? So for instance, with my Discover card, whenever I shop at certain places, so for 3 months, they'll have, say for instance, 5% cashback on restaurants. So whenever I go out to eat, I don't know if this ever happened with y'all, when y'all go out to eat and somebody's rushing to pay the bill and they're just like, you know, Zelle me, cash at me, and they want to pay with their credit card, is because they probably have perks and incentives where if they spend money with their credit card at a restaurant, they get cash back. So I really like that Discover does that, and I really love how they rotate it every 3 months, because if you're thinking about it, you don't really do the same things every 3 months, or it's things that you do all the time, so it's like nothing. So for instance, if you have a car and you put gas in your car, for 3 months they'll have a gas station 5% cash back, and you're always putting gas in your car. So either way, something that you're already paying for, and you're basically getting cash back for an everyday expense, if that makes sense. So the first incentives you want to look into is, will you have cash back benefits? Are there any matching programs? So for instance, with Discover, they match your whole first year of cash back. So if you earn $180 in cash back for your first year, they'll give you another $180. So, you know, that was lit my first year. I low-key missed it, but are there any student benefits? If you are a student, as I mentioned, once again, Discover Cashback credit card, you do get a amount applied to your balance based on if you have a 3.0 GPA or higher. Are there any partnerships with other companies? So I know that when I was working for my first company, I used to have to rent cars all the time, and I had a credit card through work. And basically the reason why my company chose that credit card was because they had so many partnerships based on the company. It was American Express, but whenever you rented a car, you had like incentives through that. They had certain partnerships so that you get a lower rate. So you want to look into, okay, I want to get Chase, but what partnerships does Chase have? Okay, I want to get Capital One, but what partnerships does Capital One have? You always want to understand that, especially if you're using your credit card for like one sole purpose. Then it makes sense for you to understand what companies they have partnerships with, and try to find a card that has companies that align with your lifestyle. So some other things you want to consider when you're getting a credit card is, if you do travel a lot, can it be used in different countries? I know that with my Discover card, I did have trouble using it outside of the country when when I was in Europe. So when that happened, I was just like, I feel like I need more of a universal credit card, because Discover is newer compared to other types of cards such as like Visa and MasterCard. So I told myself that I definitely want to get either a travel card or just a more universal credit card in the future. So that's something else you want to consider. Also, what is the frequency of your credit limit being raised? So if it's something that you're using and you kind of always need money available, you want to understand, okay, every 6 months my credit limit will go up if my credit score rises, or whatever the case is. That is something you definitely want to understand. And the last thing that you want to make sure you look into is, what are the fees and penalties with having this card? I'm gonna assume that we're all responsible adults and we pay our bills on time, but if we have a situation for a month where, you know, we need to be late with our card payment, will the company be willing to work with us, or what will the penalties and the fees be associated with that? So these are all things that you should take into consideration when applying and looking for a credit card. There are so many other things that you should look into and consider, but these are just some things that I was like, these are the points that have to be checked off for me to apply for this credit card. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. That's all I have for this video. If you guys have any other questions related to credit cards, credit scores, credit, any of that, please comment down below and I will be sure to answer your questions in my future videos. This is the first of many. So that's all I have for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed. I really hope that you guys are excited for this series that I now have on my Instagram TV as well as YouTube. I do want to share more information, because when you look at people who are speaking about this, you don't really see young Black people speaking about these topics. And I want to make it as straight to the point and as understandable for my audience, because that's something I suffer with. Even when I was in college, I'm like, please dumb it down for me. Like, let me know in the most simplest terms what you're trying to say, sis. So I'm that way. So that's basically the approach I'm taking when I do content like this. So hopefully this content helps you guys out. But that's all I have for today's video. Before you head out, make sure you guys subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button down below. We're on the road to 6K and I want y'all to join, because we're going to have more of these videos. I do natural hair, I do beauty, I do fashion, I do skincare, I do travel, I do it all, honey. Okay, so just subscribe to the fam and, you know, give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed. Drop a comment down below. As I mentioned, let me know what your first credit card was, what credit cards you guys have, what credit cards you may be looking into. If you guys have any questions about credit cards, credit scores, leave it down below. And that's all I have for today's video. So until my next video, which will be on Friday, I'll see you guys later.